What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video. In today's video, guys, I'm here to bring you all my review of灰と幻想のグリムガルepisode 2. So let's get started. So episode 2 is going to leave a lot of people wondering, should I continue watching Grimgar? Because pretty much all that really happened in this episode is that our characters finally killed a goblin. That's it. And it really boils down to the pacing of this show, which is really going to be the deciding factor whether people continue this series or not. I mean, like I said in my previous episode review of Grimgar, I was expecting that this series was going to be a lot slower paced compared to something like Sword Art Online, for example. It seems that this series is going to be more like something out of Log Horizon, which focuses on the characters in the universe, and it's going to be a lot slower paced and show you the day-to-day life out of every single character within this show. So, yeah, when it comes to the pacing is slow, right now at least. Will things pick up? Hopefully. You know, is this show bad because of the fact that it has slow pacing? No, it's not bad at all. It's just, it's going to really, you know, when it comes to the pacing, it's really going to determine your overall tolerance for this series, whether you continue it or not. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about what actually went down in this episode. So probably the most entertaining part of this episode, and probably what made a lot of you who watched this second episode to Grimgar actually watch it to the end, was probably when you saw that fight scene with the goblin. Now, that scene was handled very, very well. The amount of detail that went into that scene, I really enjoyed. I mean, it wasn't the best fight scene or whatever, but how realistic it kind of looked, because I mean, I know that this is an anime, and of course this really isn't a realistic type of fight or show to begin with, but just how everything played out in that, like, you know, these characters, they were thrown into a world that they completely have no knowledge of, and now living in this world is all about survival of the fittest, and that is exactly what that goblin was trying to do. He was trying to survive by at least trying to get away from these characters. And if anything, that goblin could have taken out all of our characters. You know, he really could, because the way how the scene went down in the beginning, I mean, we had it to where the characters were just stumbling up on their moves. They didn't know exactly what to do. The mage girl ended up missing her shot the first time around. We had the thief actually go in head first before the warrior, and the dark warrior, whatever his name is, Ronka or something like that, I really don't know. He's really kind of annoying, but he's just like yelling out random things. He's battle crying it out, and like basically the only person who I really think has, you know, an understanding of what exactly to do is the character who plays as the priest, and that is probably why he is the leader. But that scene, like, it was just done so well, how, you know, these characters are introduced to this world, and they are completely thrown in there, and now everything is survival to the fittest of them. It's either kill or be killed, and I mean, you saw the blood on the goblin, you saw the blood on them. They ended up getting stabbed a few times. So it really shows you that this isn't your average MMORPG to begin with, really. It's not something that you would, like, see when someone ends up, like, destroying the final blow to a point. Destroying the final blow to a point. I can't talk today. Ends up freaking killing a enemy on the other opposite side in an RPG game, and they completely shatter to pieces, aka Sword Art Online, you know. But in this series, they actually bleed, and once you are dead, you are dead. Yeah, I really enjoyed this part of the episode, I really did, because just the amount of detail that went into it. Like I said before, I mean, we have it to where our characters are showing actually sympathy for the goblin, because they actually hesitate for quite a while and say, what am I doing? You know, their hands are shaking, they are getting numb, because, you know, killing these things actually feels real to them, and it just shows you that they are actually in a real world. They are not in a MMORPG. So, yeah, definitely loved how that direction of the scene went. And then we get to the boring part of the episode. So basically, we have it to the rest of the episode. After they end up killing off the goblin, they actually go into town and start buying food and, you know, just living their lives, basically. And then at the end of the episode, we also get that really... Oh my god, why do they always include a scene where one of the characters is so go happy and lucky and he's just like, hey, I want to go peep on the girl's bath, so let's go over there and check it out. And that's really about it. You know, and that scene has been played so many times in anime, it is not even funny. I don't know why anime has to include the most stereotypical and predictable things that we expect in anime, in modern day anime, at least, to be included into stuff like this. Like, just like, can you be original and actually not focus on the... the stupid things? Like, focus on the actual story at hand, you know? I mean, in the first episode, I didn't say this before, but we got like a whole boob conversation that lasted like 2 minutes in the first episode. Anyway, I'm not gonna say any more than that, but, you know, that scene, it wasn't necessarily boring, I guess you can say, when it comes to, like, the scene after they, you know, we're going out through town and actually buying stuff and whatnot, because you can actually see that they are just living their daily lives, and it shows you that this world is actually like the world they used to know, but it's not at the same time. And we can see relationships building up as well in the possible future. We have it to where that red-haired archer girl sees the priest and the mage girl. You know, he's just being nice and putting on a hairpin for her, but the archer girl sees this and she gets jealous. So we can see that the relationships are building up a little bit, and I really enjoyed this episode. I really did. It was just like that one particular scene where we see that character, the Dark Warrior, you know, going into the girl's bathroom. Like, that was just stupid in my opinion. But the rest of this episode was very relaxing and very enjoyable, at least for the first half. So, yeah, I don't really have any other problems rather than that. The pacing is slow, but hopefully later down the line things start to pick up. I'm not going to drop this series because I understand that this show has a slow pacing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, like I said before. But like most of the other viewers out there who actually watch the show, it really just depends on your tolerance if you want to keep up with this series or not. But as far as how this show goes, or this episode goes, I would probably give it a 6 or a 7. A 6 or a 7. You know, on a scale to like a fine and a good. So maybe a 6.5, really, because, you know, really we only had that one half that was good, and then the other half was just kind of like, okay, you know. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on what you actually thought about this episode of灰と幻想のグリムガル, Episode 2. Let me know your thoughts. Please give a like if you liked the video. And if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel, guys, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one.